Welcome back, part 12. Wow, part 13. Either way, really a lot of parts to this, but it is a complex job, as you're well aware by now. Next up, we're going to throw in the alternator. However, you have to put in the bracket before the alternator. You can't put in the assembly together. So, fine. The alternator has a bunch of bolts to put it back together. And however, I did not mark these individually where they went. I did mark them as a group, and I did backwards figure out where they all got to go. So, these 5 bolts are our bracket mounting bolts. These 3 go to the front of the bracket. The skinnier long one goes to the back of the bracket on the back side of the engine, or mid side of the engine. This little bolt holds your radiator hose clip on, and these 3 bolts actually bolt the alternator on. So you'll want to use your long bolt here, your long bolt here, and your short bolt here. Okay, alternator mount, bracket mount. Alright, put the alternator bracket in place. I got my short screw, and my short screw started by hand, and my long screw started by hand. Now I'm going to go inside the wheel well and put that screw in. The long one, let's just look. The long skinny one, and the one for the radiator hose. So I've got my small radiator bolt started, and my top alternator bracket started by hand. So now that this is all put in place, we can go ahead and tighten all those down. Now for the tricky part. Now that I got all the bolts tightened up, now it's time to put in the alternator. Remember, you gotta attach this wire here with a 10mm bolt and plug in your clip. I recommend doing that before you bolt this thing down. A lot easier if you gotta wiggle it in your direction. So, yeah, this is fun. Alright, down here, I'll line it up right with the first set of first gap here in the brake lines. We're going to set this part in there. Push down just a little bit. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. There should be. Okay. Wire harness I can get from up here, I think. Reach, reach. Yeah, that's the hole. If you don't know where you're at, just put your finger there and see if that's the hole you're looking for before you plug your wire into it. There we go. Alright, that's that. I'm going to crawl into the wheel well and put the 10mm bolt on it. Well, 5 minutes later, I got the wire on the back attached. Now I'm going to put in the 3 mounting bolts. One long one for the top, long one in back of alternator on bottom, and short one front of alternator on bottom. Hand tighten them all, and then go ahead and tighten them down. Working backwards now on our parts list, now that your alternator is in, hopefully, is our tensioner screws. Got them marked as 10mm, but they're not. They're 15, I think. 13. Yes, they're 15s. So, before I had previously marked one side as L and the other side as right. We're going to grab the right side one, and we're going to put this little notch, there's a little notch there. We're going to put that little notch in that hole, and then we're going to put our bolt in. Tensioner 1. And get our tensioner L. Put on the left side of the engine. This dot goes in this hole. That hole. Put that tensioner in. And we'll go ahead and tighten them both down. Okay, with those two attached, the next 4 bolts on our list is for the water pump pulley. It just kind of sits on there, kind of look for your screw holes. Super easy. Little ratchet. Little slot here to put a screwdriver in. Nice and snug. It's not the best screwdriver, but whatever. Snug it up. Snug it up. There you go. That's that pulley. Okay, onto the power steering pump pulley. Have a solution. I ended up renting another tool from Advanced Auto, 53 bucks. This will actually take the pulley off and put the pulley back on. However, like I said before, I tried a whole bunch of different bolts and couldn't seem to find the right bolt for this. So, this time around, pre-lay out the tool, make sure I got everything look like it's, supposed to go. Alright, so the long end of the thread is supposed to go into here. And I get the same as before, about 2 turns on it. So, I need to pre-work my threads before I even think about trying to put this in, because I'm not pulling this on with only 2 threads. So, let me grab a pair of vice grips. Okay, put a pair of vice grips on it, similar to this design, actually identical, just a smaller set. This has 3 points to grab a nut without any teeth on it, so hopefully that won't damage my smoothness of my pulley. So got that on there. I already put some PB blaster in here. So I'm just going to take my wrench, work it back and forth. Work it back and forth. A little bit at a time. Don't force it forward. If you don't want to go forward, you don't want to go forward. Oh, spinning a little bit. I don't seem to be hurting it, so that's good. Let's back this out. Clean off my threads. Shoot some fresh PB in there. Spin it again. Well, a little tighter. See, I'm making more progress each and every stroke. Not forcing it. It's going nicely. Alright. Back it off, clean my threads, flush it out a little bit. Oh great, I'm in there about 4 or 5 threads. We'll go one more time. Yes, very nice. Alright. Alright, I have to say that that's going to be good enough. Nice and smooth, my shaft. Good deal. So here's the rest of the tool we'll be using. Inside, it's got threads that screw on to your post, the short end of it. This screws into the little collar that holds and pushes against your pulley. We're going to thread it out a bunch. We're going to put our washer on there. Yay, washer. We're going to put our pulley down over this little bar. Get it started right here. Okay. Squeeze that down. Now we'll need a wrench for here and here. Okay, make sure your pulley is pushing against the shaft in an okay manner. Go ahead and snug that up by turning that clockwise. This is going to be our hold shaft. This will be our spin shaft. Or, I guess that'll work too. Now you're better off holding. Spray a little extra lube on that shaft. She's going on nice though. Shoot, thought she was going on nice. Yep. It's definitely started. Let's tighten this up. Okay. Happy with that. Now we're gone. Just spun again. Okay, well, let's rethink this. I am man, be warned. Okay. Kit also comes with a bearing. You're supposed to put the bearing on. The bearing goes round side, round edge, towards the washer. And the nut goes on top. So let's reset and try again. Okay, let's see what happens with proper setup. Oh, that seems to work so much better. So much better. gonna go get a ratchet, a 1/2 inch on there. Big ratchet. Standard color 1/2 inch. Okay. I'll go lefty loosey on this one. Should bottom out on us automatically. Oh, glad I grabbed the ratchet. Oh. Looking down the barrel at the other grooves, pretty close. I think that's it. Yeah, that should be it. Put that in loose mode. Loosen that up. Alright. Disassembly. Okay, now that I got that all put back together, see, that's, I don't know, whatever. That's where it's supposed to be. Last pulley to put on is the idler pulley and the crank. I got the bolt started, so I'm going to hit that with the impact basically until it comes to a rest, and then I'm going to tighten down till it's tight. Alright, hey, feel accomplished. Starting to look like an engine again. Alright, probably the next part we're going to do is, well, some spark plugs, valve covers, ECU, put the fan back in, and we got the intakes, fresh air grill, power steering reservoir, we could put that on now, I think, the air box. Not much left. Bunch of wires and hoses though. That we haven't tackled yet, so we'll continue that in the next part. This part's running a little long right now. So, till then, comment, subscribe, like, share on Facebook, all the basics. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. And hopefully you make it to the end of all the rest of my other videos.